Yo guys, I'm gonna be making a different type of video than you're used to seeing from me. I don't really care like how this does, I'm not gonna lie, but I just want to get this off my chest because this is the topic that I feel like as an experienced player and somewhat newer player still, I feel like I can give a good reasoning as to why this issue is the way it is. But what really got me into thinking about this topic is, I mean, everybody always says, oh, sword is dead, but like everybody says that about every game mode because Minecraft PvP is not as popular as it once was in like 2020, but y'all know the reasons for that. If you don't know the reasons, it's basic common sense. A lot of people had more time back then. But what caused me to make this video is a lot of my older friends like Lefty and Andres and like Wheezy, Kimani, and a lot of people that were good back then, like in the quote-unquote prime of sword, were like, yeah, you would have loved like sword back in the day. And I always wondered why they said that, because I felt like sword is still fun to this day, but like over time I've started to see just how much sword is depreciating as a game mode. And there's many reasons for that as to why it's dying, and that's basically why I'm making this video right now. So without further yapping, I'm gonna get to the reasonings. I'm gonna do most easy to explain. I'm gonna try and do like most easy to explain first and then get into the more in-depth stuff. But yeah, love y'all, hope y'all enjoy. The first reason is the most kind of easy to explain is sword is so basic and so simple. And that causes it to really be a mental mind game and take a lot of mental fortitude to continue playing. It's kind of like Rocket League 1s. Like, you have to low-key be a bit weird in the head to really enjoy FFA badly. And a lot of people play FFA just to get better spacing, better like all of that. And that's definitely good because FFA can teach you that, but those are not really sword players. Those are just players trying to get better. And what I've seen over time is that sword players are just increasingly hard to come by. I had a group of friends, what should we call it? It was me, Wells, Sweatpants Wells, King Goosey, Reddish Green, and Banks. And also Lord Trollster, yeah. We would all just be grinding Stray for long periods of time every day. And what I've noticed is like, maybe I don't play Stray as much as I used to, but I don't really see people like that. And if they do that, they've already been from another game mode. They just don't start with sword. And that obviously causes a lot less like sword players to be around and a lot less good sword players to be around. So when you're playing and you're at like a decently high level, you're gonna want to fight other good level players that are on your same tier. Not even in the same tier, like the same skill range as you. But it's really, really difficult to do that when like there's no new players and you're used to fighting everybody. So it's a little bit boring. And another reason for why sword duels are so like dead is because if you beat somebody in casual, they'll be like, oh my god, this is not competitive, why are you playing so weird, and they'll start complaining about something. And that really kills people who just want to play and get better from being like actually getting better or having fun while getting better, because it's not really fun to practice while the person you're practicing against is complaining. So people log on to practice servers expecting like super casual, and that's not to say that you have to, if you log on to Stray, you have to be try hard, you have to be locked in, like it's not to say all that, but you have to expect if you're like fighting someone for a decent bit of time, unless it's like spoken in like a minute agreement that you're gonna play casual, or like, I don't know, you're doing like dumbass shit, like making it obvious you're not locked in, then you're gonna fight somebody who's gonna actually try and have like some practice. And it's not fair to be like, well, you're fighting them for a long time, so now you have to help them practice. Like, there should be a sword server that's like meant for just casuals, and that's what CubeCraft used to be, or at least that's what I'm told, and that's what it's like. I've been shown overwhelming instances of it. People just log on Cube FFA with lobby mod VC on, just troll, gank people, just do a whole bunch of fun shit, just chill out while playing Sword and hang out. And I feel like there's no real Sword server like that anymore. Because CubeCraft FFA is obviously still a thing, but it's a carcass of what it used to be. Like, nothing's good there. I've played Cube FFA a few times and it's just so, like, the players are just so bad. And there's no mix between casual against, like, regular players. Like, there's no casual competitive, if you get what I mean. There's no casual that'll, like, at least keep you entertained and keep you, like, in it. If you log on Cube nowadays, you're just gonna be able to beat the fuck out of everybody you fight. And it's like, there's no point in doing that because it's kind of ass. And that's why I feel like there's a lot less people who will log on Sword for fun and just chill, because there really is no chill space. And then when you want to, like, competitively play, like, let's just say on Stray or like any servers like that, there are so many cheaters. And then if you go to the tier list to, like, do tier list fights, the tier list is so bad, bro. And I'm not just trying to say that because I think so-and-so shouldn't have gone tier 2. Or, this tier list bad because got tier 2. Shadow Ball nigga got tier 2. He's not tier 2. Tier list bad. Like, the tier list, and plural, because there's 2 tier lists now. Another reason why the game mode's kind of fucked. It's like, it's horrible. If I, like, I'm gonna just go to tier list right now. Right, today is the 29th of December, 2025. I'll go on Marlo tier list because that's the most overpolluted, right? Okay. Let me go click on Sword.
Hey, Jesus Christ.
I hope y'all heard that. I just had to fucking scroll to see how many tier 2s there are in Sword. And it's not like Sword is the most popular it's ever been. It's not like Sword is on the come up again, because it's not. There's just so many tier 2s that it's just every other day you see, ooh, so-and-so passed tier 2, so-and-so passed tier 2. I'm like, it makes it really hard to look at tier 2s in the sense that you should. I remember when I had just started playing tier list, like looking at the tier list, everybody up there, once I started playing, like, I knew who they were. Even if I didn't personally, like, have a connection or know them, or have even fought them, like, these players were known across the community. Now when you look at it, you have, like, genuine, I'm not gonna say randoms because, like, they're not randoms, but me as somebody who, like, plays Sword very actively, I just don't know them. And it's like, it kind of gives the prestige of tier 2 or even, like, high tier 3. It just makes the prestige of it so much less. And the community's perception of, like, a lot of these tier 2s is really bad because a lot of people in tier 2 and, like, high tier 3, a lot of that are just alts or cheaters. And it's so, like, bad, but nobody does anything about it. And nobody really cares. And there's a few reasons for that. Like, first, there's not enough screen shares, obviously. Second, if you do screen share somebody, you do catch them, let's say. And let's say you ban them from a game mode or the whole tier list in general. They can just go to the other tier list. Say they get banned on Learn, they can just go to Marlo, vice versa, and just do whatever they're doing. And since there's no continuity between the bans because the 2 tier lists split up, they can just get away with that until they get screen shared again, which might never happen. Or might just take a very, very, very long time to happen. And I'm not a staff member, so I can't tell you exactly why there's not enough screen shares or just not, people are not getting banned, but, like, as a community member, I can tell you that these quote-unquote efforts to ban cheaters feel really disingenuous. And even if they do catch a cheater on one tier list, you're banning half of a cheater, rather than when it was, like, one separate, like, one whole tier list in general. They can just run to the other tier list. So you ban them from your network, yeah, but for the general public, they're not really banned. Like, they're still out there on the other tier list fucking up. the fucking tears of other people. And I'm not really affected by this issue that much. I won't really lie to you because I just started doing high tier 3 tests for people and like low tier 2 tests, like being a tester. But I've never even tested for tier 2. Like, they're not fucking my shit up, bro. I'ma tell you that right now. But they're fucking up the community membership. Everybody else in the community that actually wants to go try for like tier 2, or they're a tester testing all team cheaters. Like, it's just not fun. But I'm not gonna just sit here and speculate on what every tester thinks or what testers think. So I had to hit my friend up for a feature. He's a staff member on Marlow tierlists, and he's also a high tier 3 tester in Diamond Pod. So without further ado, everybody welcome Yamio, aka Daniel, aka Guns for Days. So yeah, take it away, Guns.
So as a tester and helper in the Diamond Pod community, alting and cheating is now extremely common because we don't have many admins and high staff to, you know, look over and like see a bunch of shit. And I've been trying to, you know, put my word in and see like, okay, yeah, let's see if we can get, you know, some promotions coming, see if we can get more people trying to, you know, help around. And they say they're gonna do it and they never do it. So as someone who does most of the high tier 3 tests in Diamond Pod, and I go against someone who's alting, it kind of like ruins the entire mode. Because why does it feel like I have to fight the same person countless times, even though it looks like a different person? It makes no sense. They need to up their security. And even with cheating too, it's so easy to cheat now since there's no screen shares. We don't have anyone who does like checks on logs. It's all based off of video. And it just doesn't make sense to me, because you could claim someone's cheating and if 2 people agree, that person can get caught for cheating even though they might not be cheating, which is why I feel like we need screen shares in the community. We need people who will, you know, ask for logs, ask for their mod folders, but they don't care about the server. And that's one thing about this tier list, is they just don't care enough to do it. So that's kind of like why I feel the community as a whole is kind of starting to fail, especially Diamond Pot and Sword too. They're really starting to fail because of it, and unless they take actions, shit's not gonna change.
Thank you, Daniel, for your feature. Very much love. W feature. I hit him up when I was sick for this because I didn't know if I'd be able to record like at that part segment, and now I'm just like, fuck it, he explained it better than I could, because yeah, I mean, he's a high tester. So thank you, Daniel, much love. I probably would have scrapped the video if I didn't have to continue it, because I made you do a feature because I'm a fat fucking lazy chud bitch, a light skinned dumbass fucking bitch who plays sword PvP in 2025 and is now recording a sword PvP video. It's 2025, damn near 2026, and my fat chud bitch ass is fucking making videos about Minecraft PvP dead game modes. Kill me. But what's really killing people's passions for sword is there's like in the tier list, there's not any tournaments anymore, for real. Like, I used to be told there was hella tournaments back in the day. I know there was like a tier 1 tournament, there was like hella high tier 3, hella tier 2 tournaments, and that would lead a lot of people who are really competitive but like don't really like to grind that much, or just people like even if they do grind, it's a fun format to like fight people and do like get a higher tier if you win it. And even if you don't win it, it's just fun as fuck. And there's no tournaments anymore. Like, they're so rare. And while that's not like a thing that the tier list needs to have just to be alive again, it would bring back a lot of people's passion. Well, not a passion, but it would bring back at least a decent amount of people to want to do tournaments. And like, it's not like there's a lack of people wanting to do tournaments. Like, if somebody makes a tournament right now for like high tier 3s or even low tier 2s, like, I guarantee you at least half of every high tier 3, if they qualify for like the region or like whatever, or every half of every low tier 2 for the same reason. They would all want to do that. And just nobody hosts tournaments anymore. And I really don't know why. Like, this is one thing, even me thinking about it still perplexes me. Like, maybe because you need to screen share the winners, I guess. I know, there's like a high tier 3 or low tier 2 tournament on Vex, and like hella niggas got subhuman because like they couldn't screen share. It turned off something, like, I'm not gonna get into that, but either way, it was still fun, and it's still like, the tournament produced a good tier 2. I think Goosey won the tournament. And like, is anybody gonna sit here and tell me King Goosey is not tier 2 sword? I don't think so. Like, these tournaments are not producing bad tier 2s. They're not really hurting anybody. And even if you don't get a ranked promotion, like, at least just have a high tier 3 tournament. Just fuck it. Say fuck it. You can just fight if you want. You're not gonna get anything out of it, but you can do it for like, just to have good comp fights, or just for community prestige. Just like, give us something to do, nigga, for real. But my final point I'm gonna make as to why Sword is dead is, I already kind of hinted at this earlier, but if you play in a certain way, or if you have like higher ping, you're gonna be looked at as inferior to a lower ping player that is the same skill level as you. Or let's say you're better than them, you're still gonna be looked at as worse than them because people love sword bias. It's the worst game mode for bias, like, altogether. And what I mean by sword bias is, my friend Ale kind of explained this to me, in the sense when I asked him, I was doing like research for this video by asking like high tier sword players that are like older, or like former, high tier sword players why sword is dead. And he said that sword bias is like, basically, people look at you different if you play in a certain way, or if you do like have a certain ping. Back in the day when he was like high tier 2, not the recent time that he got it, but like, I don't know what year it was, but I just know he was high tier 2 like way back. And I was told explicitly and numerously to not name who he told me by him, so I'm not gonna name them. But like, even high tier sword players, like tier 2s, tier 1s, like, they look at people weird, and they like think less of them as their skill level because they're high ping, or they play in a certain way that they don't like. So it's people that are not even cheaters being treated like, yo, you're bad because you're high ping, or you suck, you're high ping. And as somebody who's been like, I started playing sword when I lived in Washington DC. I started playing Minecraft PvP in general when I lived in Washington DC. And so everybody knows DC and like Virginia is like the best area for ping for like any East server. And most NA servers are hosted on East. Not most, like 95%. So I would get great ping, and I wouldn't get like 8 ping or like single digit ping, but I would get like 15, 20, but I would have like really stuttery and bad internet. And like, I would literally be teleporting on people's screens. I remember like Lefty has this one clip. If I can find the clip, I'll put it in the video. Like, I would literally lag spike like a fucking 200, 100 plus ping player, like a South American, right? But I would get less complaints about my ping than I do now, because I moved to New Mexico for college, and so now I get like quote unquote perfect ping for sword. And I used to be one of those people that was like, yo, if I was 70 MS, I would be fucking everybody up. I would be the best player. And a lot of people have that notion, but even when they play on like West from East and they get that ping, they're not that good. And for some reason they think like moving physical location will make them better at that. It doesn't, bro. I'm sorry. I have perfect internet now. Like, I have 700 uploads, 600 download. I mean, fuck, the other way around, you know what I mean? And like, I have Ethernet, all of this shit that I didn't have before when I was on low ping. And I still get more complaints, but it's just, now you're a brick wall, you don't move. And it's kind of a skill issue. I'll be so honest. People complaining about ping in sword PvP, like obviously yeah, there's some situations where your ping is gonna make a difference, and it's gonna be like the reason you can do certain stuff that other people can't. But that's just the way that life is. Certain circumstances will make you able to do things that other people can't. And what I use to explain this, like to people who don't really get it, like let's say I talk to some girl who doesn't really know Minecraft PvP, and I'd say, oh, he's picked, because I'm not gonna lie, bro, like even though I'm making this video and telling you guys, yo, like sword buy is bad, stop it, for real, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I don't complain about people's ping, bro, because I do. Everybody's doing that. But like the only time it's an actual issue is when you genuinely think worse of the person's skill because of their ping. So what I used to explain this scenario is like 2019, 2020, I don't really know what year it was, but you can look this up and find the year if you really care that much. James Harden basically said, to be honest, in an interview, he was like, oh, I wish I could be 7 foot and run and dunk all the time, be run and dunk man. Basically implying that because he was like 6'3" and a guard, and that yeah, he's more skilled than Giannis, because Giannis can just run and dunk all the time, he's big. If you've been around me for a decent bit of time, you'll always hear me calling people fat on Minecraft. And it's not because I'm saying you're actually fat in real life. You might be, you might not be. But I look at Minecraft ping as your weight, because in the same sense that it's gonna be easier to push a lighter person over and make them move, it's gonna be harder to push a heavier person over and make them move. And I'm sure you can already see what I'm about to say, but it's the same for Minecraft knockback. If you're higher ping, you're fat and shitty and just don't move and you get hit that much. And while that's obviously an inherent advantage for especially sword PvP, there's the other side of the coin that the bigger person obviously can't move as quick in real life. And in just Minecraft, it's much, you have to predict stuff rather than like actually react more when you're on higher ping, because you're not moving as quickly. Everything's more delayed, obviously. But people don't really realize that. And in the same sense that James Harden is wrong about that, because it's easier for him to spam dribbles, you know what I mean, just do all that other shit to get a shot up. It's like, yeah, that's well and good, but you're much lighter, so you can actually dribble quicker, you can move quicker, you can do all of that quicker. And in Minecraft, when you're low MS, you can do a whole bunch of mechanics a lot quicker than you can on high ping. So a lot of high ping players, unless they're like fucking transcendent IQ and just have great game sense and knowledge of where to be at, they can't really do a lot of mechanics, and they have to play in this, like, not the same exact way, because everybody plays a little different, but they have to play in a way that's more limited, more like just runny donkey, the Minecraft equivalent of runny donkey, and just like live with it, because what else can they do? And rather than people acknowledging that and acknowledging the advantages of each ping, they just say, if you're below 10 ms, you're ping carried, you're a pinger. If you're above 70 ms, you're a lagger. And when people put actual value on your ping, then your skill gets discredited, because most of the time they're not really thinking critically, and they're just thinking in a copium sense. So even if you achieve like a high tier, like people like Vernick, for example, he's high tier 2, but he's Asian, so he gets like hella ping. And people, even though he fails people's tests, he posts his videos, like you can see he's a great player. They think he's bad or like not as good because he's higher ping, and it's just fucking stupid. And yeah, it's definitely annoying to fight high ping. I'm not gonna tell you that's not, but if you're in a competitive fight, you're gonna fight people that play annoying, that's like their ping is annoying. And instead of complaining about it, bro, just learn to counter it. Time your S-tops better, time your spacing better, crit them out, crit chain. There's so many tactics you can do to be a high ping that it really should not be a complaint. But yeah, this might be the last time you ever see a video like this from me. I'm not really like the person to make long form videos, as you can tell. But maybe if like there's more topics I want to talk about, I'll start doing this more often because I do like to talk a decent bit. As you can tell by this fucking damn near 30-minute video. Yeah. Love y'all. Y'all be safe. Make sure to like, subscribe, because YouTubers say that if they say that, they get more fucking likes and fucking subs. So yeah, I don't like Sword, I don't like Minecraft, I don't like editing, I fucking hate YouTube. I'm just a greedy bitch who wants more clout, so please press follow, like, sub, and leave a comment. Yeah, love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video.